And we're just going to be talking about what we've been up to recently
and what we've got coming up.
Yeah, looking ahead.
Yeah.
So.
So in terms of school, me and Jade both have physics and maths together, and then I do economics and Jade does RS.
Yes.
So in physics this week we're doing astrophysics, which is our optional topic for A Levels, and so we started it last week, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We started it last week, and then we've been carrying on with it this week. So it's like telescopes and what were we doing this week?
Well, stars.
Yes, stars. Yes.
Working out the distance.
Yeah.
We haven't quite got to that yet, but
no. Yeah. But we're we're working on that at the moment. So we're just kind of finishing off that topic in physics. In terms of maths, we're coming towards the end of our chapters now. Pure maths, I think we've got 2 chapters left. Is it? 2 chapters?
Yeah, just a couple together.
Yeah. So we're just finishing off integration at the moment, and then I think we're going on to vectors. And then in applied, we are just doing
more vectors.
Vectors, yes, of course. We're doing vectors, and I think we've got like one more chapter after that. So I think we're pretty much on track to finish before Easter or a little bit after Easter. So that's quite good. And then this week we don't really have our maths teachers away, so we have covers, and so we're kind of learning it by ourselves this
I'm going to
week.
take it as an opportunity to do a bit of catch up.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what we've got in physics and maths. What were you doing in RS this week?
Well, so, RS this week I had a timed essay on Tuesday, so that's kind of, we get 40 minutes to write a 40-mark essay, and this week it was based on religious pluralism and society. So because we finished that section of RS with that teacher, because I have it split in 2, we're doing loads of revision stuff with him, so that was more of a revision essay. And then obviously I had another essay for RS, which was just a homework, but it's just all revision now really in that subject. So
yeah. In terms of economics this week, we've started doing quite a lot of writing practice, which is good because in economics you have to write a lot. On one of the papers you have to write 30 pages worth of writing in 2 hours, which is a lot of so much writing, and it hurts your hand, so that's why you've got to practice. We were also doing this thing where we were looking at different exam boards and their exams and kind of comparing what our exam is and sort of what they had to do. So IB, they've got a whole maths paper that they do, so we were doing some questions from that, and it's more about, because it's the same sort of content, it's about using all the resources you have, because as long as you've got the style that EdXL needs, because that's the board that we're doing, then that's all that kind of really matters. So it's about utilising our resources effectively.
As we said, we both do maths and physics. I do RS, Kira does economics. We've got a comment here. It says, how did you choose your A Levels, as I'm in year 11? So what I did was, we had an evening where we went around the different subjects and had a little listen about what it would be in store for A Levels. But I found one of the most important bits of advice when going into that evening was to obviously listen to what will be included, but don't be swayed by what the teacher says, because you might go into the classroom and they have something really exciting and you'll think, wow, this A Level is going to be absolutely amazing, but just really think about it when you're in there and think, are they just doing this as a marketing thing for their subject? But what I did was, I thought about the subjects at GCSE that I enjoyed the most out of all of them, and I basically just chose those. I was going to branch out and do ones that I hadn't done before, and actually looking back, I'd say probably a better decision would have been to go for that. Don't be afraid to take an A-level subject that you don't already take for GCSE, because you might, every A-level does change. That gap between GCSE and A-level changes for all of them, 100%. So you won't be at a disadvantage if you take something like film studies instead of geography, because you're used to geography. If you want to take that subject, then go for it, and Yeah, that would be my advice.
So I actually did take a subject that I didn't do at GCSE. So we didn't do economics at GCSE. Our school didn't offer it, and so I chose it. But I went up to the economics teacher and spoke to him about sort of what I was worried about, because I'm not really an essay writer, and so I was kind of, economics is essay based, so I was a bit worried about that. But he said to me, see how it goes, see if you enjoy it, and I actually do really enjoy it. Physics and maths was based on, I didn't mind doing homework for them or revising for them at GCSE, so that's what I based that on, because I didn't want subjects I knew I wouldn't enjoy. I probably now would have changed my subjects a little bit. I say go for a subject that you know you love, regardless of how difficult you think it might be. Go for it, because that's the subjects that you need to do at A level, because that kind of leads you on to so many things, and like you want to do what you love when you grow up, so start at A levels.
But you don't be thinking too far ahead into the future. Don't be thinking, I need this A level for this. Obviously, if you're going to be a doctor or whatever, the obvious ones, but don't get too hooked on what you're going to be doing in 10 years' time. Just think about what you want to do now. So we've got a couple more questions. So we've got someone who's in the US, they're in 8th grade, and I believe over here that would be year 9. So that's the year before you choose your
GCSEs.
Is it?
I think...
Yeah, so that would be the year before you choose your GCSEs, and you would take those for 2 years and then go on to 6th form, which is usually...
No, it's the year that you choose your GCSEs. Year 9.
Yeah. Oh, it's the year before you go into them, but you do choose them in year 9 or 8th grade kind of thing. And what do you think about the British school system? That is a very broad question.
I feel like it's different for us because we're in Guernsey. For all of you who didn't know, we're in Guernsey, which is a small island in the Channel Islands. We're kind of independent in the sense of like the school system. So we have 3 high schools and 1 grammar school and 3 private schools.
I think, but that honestly, it's a big thing at the moment. It will be changing.
The whole of, like, they're changing their school system so that the private schools will still be there because they're private schools, but their other schools are state schools, and so they'll be changing into, it's the 2 school system, isn't it? So they're schools that go from year 7 right the way through to 6th form, whereas at the moment only our school, which are joint with them, so we're an all-girls school, and the all-boys school, we're joint with them for our 6th form. Yes, and so there's only 2.
In terms of the British school system as a whole, the whole sort of 3 years of doing the first key stage and then GCSEs 6th form, I think it works pretty well. It's a good format, and I like the way it is. How do you make a mind map? So obviously, let's give an example. So I would say for mind maps, don't let them be too broad. Maybe focus in on a specific topic.
100%.
Write it in the middle, put a little bubble around it if you want. And then subtopics can be different branches, and then if you've got information out of them, I would say if you really want to go for it, use a massive bit of paper. Different colours so that you can see different bits. I'd just say get creative with a mind map, because that's what's meant to be,
and
really.
Use your textbook as well, because most of the time your textbook will have the heading at the top and then it'll have subtopics, so you can actually see how to structure it. So I'd go with use your textbook at the same time. I know quite a lot of my friends find it helpful when it's on a massive bit of paper, because you can just go for it.
And then if it looks nice, stick it on your wall, and you can look at it every day and get
and it helps kind of like set things out in your mind, I think. I think they're very helpful. How did our GCSEs go? My GCSEs went pretty well. I got 7 A's and 4 B's, so I was pretty happy with that. I feel like anyone would be. You did a little bit better than me.
I didn't really expect the outcome that I got. I got 9 A stars, an A and a B. So it was pretty, it was a good day, results day. It was brilliant. But I think it all, for me, changed during study leave. That was really when I think I got the work done. And so before Easter, kind of this time where we are now, for GCSEs, I wasn't thinking too much in the moment. I was more doing preliminary planning for Easter, study leave, and just making sure that I'm on track. So I wasn't getting caught up with things before Easter, and I did find that study leave, you have so much more time than you expect to have. And
having that time is so useful.
Yeah, just
use it. Honestly,
use it wisely, but also use it as a chance to take a break between exams. And yeah, that was definitely the key for me.
Yeah. So we got another one saying, how did you not stress about GCSEs? You do. It's unavoidable, I think, to not stress about them. But it's about how you deal with that stress, I think. Don't get too caught up in it. Don't focus solely on the stress. Try and like work through it, and if it helps, plan out what you're stressed about. Right, I did this thing where I wrote everything I was stressed about just on a piece of paper, just wrote it all down, and it just gets it out of your system, and you can actually be like, oh, it's not as much as I thought, I just need to do this. So actually like writing it out maybe might help a bit.
And also remember that your friends at school are going through the exact same thing at the same time as you. So in some sense it can be great because you understand each other, but at the same time everyone's going to be feeling that pressure, and everyone's going to be feeling the stress. So don't let yourself feed off of everyone else's stress either. Just it's inevitable. You're gonna be stressed at some point, I'm sure. But as you probably are told a lot of the time, GCSEs aren't the end of the world. Like,
no,
they're important, but not more important than yourself. So you have to think about yourself.
Okay, Maisie Lee says SATs, SATs. In year 6, did you do those? So we had something called the 11 plus, which is basically a series of tests. I can't even, there was seven of them that we took, and it kind of put us on a level of like which sort of school we could go to.
Yeah, so you would put your choices, whether you wanted to go to one of the private schools, the grammar school, one of the high schools, and you would get a certain amount of points, and that would enter you into the different levels where you could go. I'm not actually entirely sure how SATs work. I'm guessing it's a similar kind of thing, but
I'm not 100% sure either. Because we don't really have them.
But we had our own little version of that anyway.
Okay. Cat Lover said she doesn't have study leave anymore at school, and she's stressing about cramming in revision. I'd say try and do, I know everyone says this, but try and do like half an hour a day, where even if it's just like a section of one of your exams, say maths, you do one chapter of maths, maybe it takes you a half an hour, maybe it takes you an hour, but if you do that every single day, then you'll get the whole of maths done. Like, don't be too worried about cramming it, because I don't know what time your school finishes, but you probably have quite a lot of time after school, and so you can set aside maybe like half an hour of each subject a day, and that eventually will work up, and then you'll be able to get all of your revision in. So
I think also if you don't have that much time, don't waste your time on the stuff that you know. And I think it's important, before you do dive into all the revision, just take a bit of time to work out what you don't know, and then focus on that, because there's always the odd definition, like in biology, and you know those definitions. Don't bother writing out a list of it for yourself if you think you know that. Just get straight into the hard stuff that you're not sure about.
Don't be afraid to do the hard stuff either,
you will
because
thank yourself.
That's the bits that you need to know the most. So
if you have just joined, this is our live Sunday takeover with Jade and Kira, and we will be answering any questions and comments that you put here on YouTube. And so if you got any more, not at the moment, but I mean, so I guess obviously our life does revolve around school at the moment, but we have other stuff going on.
And so last week actually someone came in from the Hermione Fund, and they are doing this new thing where they're making blankets for people, and so they knit them, and so we actually had a lady come in and we knitted. We
learned to knit. I think that's really important actually. Obviously we're learning so much at school, but to learn something else like that, like a craft like knitting,
100%.
it's so nice just to take a break from
It was
thinking?
like, it was half an hour.
Yeah.
There was about there must have been about 12 of us that were just sat around a table knitting, chatting, and it was actually
lovely.
really relaxing.
I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I think finding something like that, especially like during exam period, just to have like a little relax to yourself. Just even if it's just for half an hour, like that can actually be really, really nice.
Yeah, so if you are watching as well, we do have a poll up on the video.
Yeah.
If you click the I in the corner, it's have you got many exams this year? So
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah. So maybe some of you
whether you
are in
have
year
them.
7, year 8, and you don't have like GCSEs, but maybe you have internal exams. I know we used to have them at school.
Yeah, they were always a bit stressful actually. We
Yeah.
used to get little revision packs and things. And actually the way that you do get set up for your exams later in life is important, I think.
I sometimes forget like the build up, like year 7 to year 8 is they're molding you into like what
Yeah,
you need to be
yeah.
in year 11 and year 13 when you're actually doing exams. It's quite clever.
So, okay, we've got Maisie Lee. Hello, again. We have, how much time do you think would be sensible to revise each week? So we kind of, obviously Kira mentioned the half hour. Don't go crazy.
No, don't make it unrealistic for yourself, because I know I used to do that. I used to say, oh, I'll do like 4 hours solid in a day. It's not going to happen.
And if you end up doing that, great. But
Yeah.
then you do want to make sure that everything you have done in that time hasn't been wasted and you haven't just been kind of blankly copying notes. Because I remember I used to do that a lot and think, actually, I don't remember what I've done. I've just kind of felt accomplished for writing loads of stuff out, but it's not
you
helped.
don't actually remember anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, don't go crazy. But obviously, as you get closer up to your exams, you're going to be revising more because you get a bit more worried about it. But
It's natural.
don't forget that you're allowed a break, I think is one of my like main things.
Take a break, but not too much of a long break.
Aliska, I'm sorry if I've said that wrong.
Sorry.
She finds our school system very interesting, and she's from Czech, and our system is a whole lot different. Please tell us about your system. I'd be really interested to hear about that. Yeah,
how it is different and the structure of your school or your day.
Yes.
Or anything that might be interesting, and we'd love to know about that.
Yeah. So Cat Lover says, did you have prom in year 11?
Yeah, prom is such a big thing, isn't it? In year 11, you're thinking about exams, but you've also got to think about prom.
That's
huge.
Planned prom. I was probably the main.
Yeah,
planner.
so we all let Kira plan the whole thing for our whole year. Actually, it was pretty incredible. Another stress to take on at the time.
We did have prom. Yeah, it was kind of. Our prom was a bit underwhelming. It was kind of disappointing.
We always had this vision of prom, I guess, from High School
Movies, High School Musical.
It's this big magical thing. It's very like Americanized, but
I think it's because we're not American that it's just it's toned down a bit and it's not so much of a big thing. And so we all get excited, but all kind of like it doesn't.
It is. It's lovely though, because I think being in year 11, it will be the first proper. Other than little school discos that you might have had before, it's the first proper time that everyone can get together and dress
Especially
up.
because we went to an all-girls school and our prom was joint with the all-boys school.
That was exciting,
it was like
wasn't
the first time that we met all of the boys.
That was great. We did, it was lovely. We had a meal and
I think a lot of people had a good time. It's just for me, especially because I had the stress of knowing that I'd organised
it. And you've got to pick what you're wearing, your outfit, we all had our prom dresses and that was always a big deal.
Getting ready as well. I had to get someone to come over and help me get ready.
I had a very sad prom day actually.
Did you?
My mum was away and so was my sister. My dad was at work full time all day, so I got up and painted my nails alone and did my hair alone and did my makeup alone.
Wow.
That was fun.
Anyway.
That was prom. Prom's great, though. Let us know.
It was a good
experience. What you're going to be wearing. I want to know.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas.
Maisie Lee says, did you have mock tests? If you did, then did you find them easier than actual GCSEs?
Yes. Okay. So we had, for GCSEs, we had mocks in late January/February time. And do you know what? Mocks are so much harder, much more difficult than the real thing, because if you think about it, you've got all of your subjects which at GCSE can range from anywhere from 5 to 12
we
different
had 11,
subjects. So and you have all of that crammed into the space of about 1 or 2 weeks, and so it's the first time that you really properly think this is gonna matter for something, and you might get a bit more worked up about it. And I found that it was so crammed that it didn't give the right impression of what I'd actually be getting at all.
Mocks are so much more stressful than the real GCSEs.
Yeah.
Also because it's the first time that you've sat down in that environment and done a whole paper. Yes, you might have done one in class, but you've never sat down in those conditions and done a whole paper. So that in itself can be quite difficult. So actually, yes, GCSEs won't be a walk in the park, but they will be easier than your mocks.
Yeah. So if you have done mocks, don't let them dishearten you in any way, and just take what you have learnt from that and apply it. And as I said earlier, you will have so much more time between exams, even if you don't have study leave. You will find that, I'm sure you will find the time compared to mocks.
Yeah, 100%. Cat lover again, thank you for asking so many questions.
This is lovely.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Did the exams go by quick?
Yes, I found very quick. While you're in the middle of them, you have that list of exams, and I remember just coming out of them and wanting
crossing it off,
and it feels so good. And by the end of it, when you are doing all that prom stuff, and it just, you forget where the time's gone. It goes so quickly.
It does go really quickly. And like sitting in the exam itself, because your exams are about 90 minutes, I think. And
so an hour to an
hour and a half. So quick. It goes by so quickly. Like it does.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I don't mind.
Matcha, hello Matcha.
Hello Matcha.
He says, good evening all. I was in the kitchen earlier eating when it dawned on me it's now less than 2 months until my first exam. This is scary.
Yeah, thank you for that reminder.
Me too, Matcha. Last week it was 2 months until my first 2 exams, because my first day of exams I have physics and then economics on exactly the same day, so that's going to be really fun for me.
If you look at it in a positive way, you get 2 out of the way first thing,
straight into
done.
2 out of the way, true.
Yeah, you can think of it like that.
Okay, Eliska. Okay, so this is
we asked about
person from
the school
Czech,
system over there.
Okay, so our first actual exam, like GCSEs or A Levels, is at the end of high school at the age of 18 or 19.
Wow.
You have to study all kinds of subjects, and then you do the exam in Czech, maths, any language, and then 2 chosen subjects. Sorry for my English.
Perfect English.
Wow. So you don't actually do your first exams until you're 18. That's crazy.
Cool. So I wonder if they must be.
Is that more stressful for you?
Higher level?
Because we've already had kind of the experience of GCSEs, and then we go on to A Levels, whereas you have to go straight into just doing exams for the first time when you're 18. Wow, that's really interesting. Thank you. Maisie Lee has said, did you ever get worried about what people think about you or get judged by what you wear?
Oh, is this for prom, I'm guessing, or is this in general? It may be.
I think everyone does, to be honest.
Yeah, in general, yes. Obviously, you think about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're comfortable in what you're wearing,
I feel like it does take a while to get comfortable with who you are, but I think that's just normal, isn't it? Like
at this time of like GCSEs time, kind of secondary school time, that's gonna be something that you're always thinking about.
I feel like you're always more worried about what people think about you, so then you tend to look at other people and compare yourself, and then that's why you think people are
at the end of the
you.
day, they're probably doing the exact same thing. They're probably thinking
are they looking at me like,
you're thinking about yourself, they're thinking about themselves. We're all selfish. That's how it is. But and then if we're linking it to prom, just you're always going to look back at prom and think, oh wow, what a day. I think back and I think, what was I doing? But
I feel like it's you can't judge yourself on what you used to wear, because I used to wear some interesting things, but that's what I wanted to wear at the time. So it's like it's a progression, isn't it? You're not always going to wear the same sort of things, and people won't wear the same things as you either. So I feel like it's just kind of being comfortable with what you want to wear. In my opinion.
We have Aaliyah, I think. Aaliyah. And hello, if you would redo your GCSEs, what would you change? See, obviously it wasn't that long ago for me, but I would say nothing.
I wouldn't change
I wouldn't change a thing, because I remember thinking at the time, I don't think I'm doing enough revision, I'm having way too much fun right now. And looking back, I'm so glad that I thought at the time I'm having a good time, because 1, 100%. I did well, and 2, I had a brilliant time at the same time, obviously having a few
Study
stressful
leave was
moments.
great.
But yeah, just enjoy it, because after GCSEs you're going to go on to other things, and so don't wish all of that time away.
No, 100%. Yeah. I think the only thing I probably would have revised a tad more, but in terms of like changing my subjects, I loved my subjects. Yeah. I loved my subjects.
We had 3 choices. What were your choices?
So I chose German, drama and RS, and if I could have changed my A levels, I would have done German, drama and economics. So I would have chosen those because I love them. I feel like I don't have to stop learning about them. Like I can continue learning about them.
Don't, just because you don't do them for A levels doesn't mean that you can't.
Yeah, even GCSEs. If you have to choose between history or geography, say, and you really enjoy both, I mean, you can do both, or you could do one of them and continue learning about it outside, because it might be that what you learn outside of lessons is actually more interesting than what you're more interested in. So because
I did RS, drama and history, and I think pretty much the same thing. I don't regret doing those at all. They were so much fun, especially drama.
So Cat Lover, how do you organise at A levels? It is difficult, let me just tell you that.
It's different to GCSEs in a way that a lot of GCSE is kind of, there's a book with information, you need to learn that and remember it. But with A levels, it's like there's a book of information, there's another book of information, there's another one. You need to read them all.
And then actually do the things in lessons as well.
Yeah, and like take all the information from that and not necessarily learn it, but learn how to use it and then use it for something else. It's like I organise. I could be more organised, but I organise in a sense that I like to have different things. So I've bought the revision guides, and then I can keep them in piles of subjects, and I like to be. I know where everything is, and I can turn to the right page when I want it, and I know exactly where that page is. And
the thing with like economics is it's quite difficult to have a revision guide for it, because there's the course, but there's also so much outer reading, and because it's
ever changing.
Anything that's happened in the economy over the past 30, 20 years could come up, and so it's like having that wider knowledge as well, and like how you like balance between learning the subject and what you need to know, and also reading about the subject as well.
Right, let's have a look. I like this one. Maisie Lee has asked, did you ever go crazy about stationery or how organised you were?
I love stationery.
So, you know when you walk into a stationery shop like WH Smith and you look at that wall of pens, it's just...
Honestly.
I want all of them.
It's when I walked into a WH Smith once in England, and I didn't really have any money, didn't need to spend money on pens because I had loads, and I bought like a 15 pack of pens.
It's just the highlighters. You know, I'm sure some people know what I'm talking about. The pastel highlighters. Yeah. Everyone loves the pastel highlighters. Got to have. Yeah, I mean, if you make your notes look pretty, then you're more likely to want to go back and read them. It's just when you go overboard and spend 15 minutes making your title look pretty, that's when you need to rethink this isn't okay.
It's a mixture of making them look nice so that you're happy to look back at them, and also using your time effectively so that you don't waste time on them.
Definitely.
Matcha, I'm so sorry that you have an exam until 5 on the day of your prom. That's really, I feel for you. I really
until
do.
5. That is
until
horrible.
5.
But I mean,
Maisie Lee, did you do much drama at secondary school? So we both took drama GCSE, and so we have done quite a lot of drama, but we
How much was it a week? 2.5 hours?
Something like that.
2.5 hours a week.
But we also do drama outside of school
so
together.
That was another.
And we also took part in, we've taken part in quite a lot of school plays as well.
Year 11. Yeah.
Year 11 we took part in one, year 12 we
year 13.
took part in one, and year 13 as well.
But I mean, if you're talking purely secondary school, like year 7 to year 11, drama was definitely a key part of my week, every week.
100%, everyone loves drama. I think it's just,
love it.
It's such a relaxing lesson, and also because
you can take it where you want to take it.
Yeah, and also because we love drama as well, it was such a fun lesson for us as well.
I think definitely drama lessons at school, I find the class just becomes quite a close-knit group.
Yes,
you can't
our drama
help
GCSE class was so close.
Really.
It was really lovely.
Yeah.
Aliska, I love German too. I'm really happy. I love German. I have a German pen pal, and we message sometimes.
That's so lovely. I
went
wish
to see
I
her
kept in touch with my pen pals.
Yeah. I didn't keep in touch with my French one, but I love my German one. Yeah.
Aaliyah, how did you revise for maths? Okay, so maths, as well as things like subjects like physics, practice questions, just 100%
past papers.
Questions. Over and over again, I did different past papers. We were quite lucky because we were the year just before all of the syllabuses changed a little bit. So we were so lucky in the sense that we had a lot of past papers to do, and that was probably the most useful thing for me. And it gives you a little bit of an idea where you are, and it will give you a bit more confidence as well.
Yeah, I'd say also I found recently that because we do A-level maths, and so I found that actually writing out the methods of how you get to something, it probably is applicable for GCSE as well. Writing out all the different methods of how you get to a certain thing is so useful, because I know like a lot at A-level there's so many different steps, and it's kind of the same at GCSE, but like having those methods written out so you can see how you can do it, and it's easy. You can apply it so easily to the past paper questions. So if you write out all these flashcards with the different methods, then you can just go, oh yeah, that's flashcard. Oh, yeah,
I use this website for maths actually. If you're thinking about maths specifically, if you go to Exam Solutions, he does all these videos on. I'll go to the GCSE section now. He does ones that are suitable for all of the boards. He arranges it by topic, and so you can choose the topic you're not sure about, and he will do a video on how to work out one of those questions.
Oh, that's really
100%
useful.
Recommend it. I've used it for A levels, and it is so helpful just to hear someone who's not your own teacher or your friend to be explaining it in perhaps a different way, and it might just click.
I find that we follow someone. Our economics class found this person called Econ Plus Dal on YouTube, and he does the best videos. They're explained so well, and it's just so helpful to actually like see it in front of you on a video. Because I tend to learn quite well like listening to something or watching something, and so for me as well that's really helpful. That's a good one. Cat Lover says, did you have a written exam for drama? If so, what content did it include? We did, yes. It was an hour and a half, wasn't it? And then we studied a play, and so
Our Town,
yes. And we had a variety of different questions for that, and then we had to design a scene.
So yeah, what it included was the first question I think was about, it was a generalised question about the whole play. What do you think so-and-so conveys in it? The next one was to do with, the lighting or the costumes, how you would, so in this scene, what would you do for the costumes? What would you do for the lighting? The next question was a character. And it was, how would you portray this character? And then we also did have a written element as well, which was we had made devised pieces, and we just had to kind of analyse and review how we'd done that. And I know that we did the Welsh board, the WJC board, and I think that one had probably the least amount of writing that we could have had for a drama GCSE.
Quite a lot of it was coursework.
So, I know that other drama GCSEs have included a lot more writing than that.
Yeah, okay. We've got two
more questions.
We're
going to be wrapping up very shortly.
In a minute, so we'll do these last two questions. Maisie Lee says, sorry for all my questions. Absolutely fine, Maisie, don't worry.
Thank you.
Did you guys ever have any strict or mean teachers? If you did, how did you deal with them?
Not so mean and strict, but maybe just, I don't want to use that word, incompetent. No, just
I think you always encounter people that...
people in general, not just teachers.
Yeah,
that you don't get on with.
That you don't get on with, and you think that they're strict or mean. And I think it's just about kind of focusing on the fact that you're trying to learn their subjects and like not letting them get to you, because I know one of my maths teachers used to pick on me quite a lot, and I didn't really like it, but it doesn't affect how you learn as much, because even if you don't learn as well in their class, you can always learn afterwards and read through your notes, and if you didn't understand it, read through that. There's always a way like through it, because you have to deal with it, because you're always going to meet people that you think are strict or mean or you don't get on with in life. So I think it's fun just getting through it.
And ultimately, even if you don't get on with the teacher, their main aim is to give you the best education that you can have.
Yeah.
So even if they're being strict or harsh, it might just be because they know you have potential and they just want to get it out with you.
Yeah.
And
sometimes
so
like
just got to persevere.
I need someone to be like really mean to me.
Need a bit of a push.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this now.
Okay, final question. We're going to choose a final question.
Yeah. Maybe that.
There's so many to choose from.
Three. There's three.
So many. Okay, go for the second one.
This one. Okay.
Just choose one.
English
Go for it.
literature.
This is our last one.
Yeah, English literature. How many quotes did you learn?
Okay.
Not that many, to be fair. Well, actually, that's a complete lie.
Okay, lie.
Sorry.
So we had, that was Romeo and Juliet for me, and
Of Mice and Men. Yeah.
And I think quotes are important, but it's definitely the context behind those quotes that you need to learn more.
Yeah.
Don't bother about trying to learn the really tricky quotes. Just take the ones that you remember, because I guarantee that you will write down a list of quotes, and in that exam, you will think of one that's not on that list.
Yeah.
You'll be writing and it will just happen.
Yeah. You study the text so much and you read it 3, 4, 5 times through, then you tend to just pick up on the quotes.
Yeah, so
like as you're reading it, you're like reading it with the teacher because you know what she's going to say because you've read it so many times. So
yeah,
I think
even if you've planned on putting a certain quote in, I can assure you that a different quote will come into your head during the exam, and that one will just be the one that you write down on the page. Like, you won't expect it, and then it will just happen.
I think it's also like the question. If you're looking at the question, you're like, oh my gosh, I just remembered that quote that like goes really well with it. Or like, I mean, I kind of winged some of the quotes in my English literature because I kind of knew the basis.
They know the
of what
stress
they were.
that you're under, and if you get the quote kind of how it's meant to be, you don't need to worry about it being perfect word for word.
No,
obviously that's ideal, but the examiners know the kind of stress that you're under, especially for GCSEs. It's the first public examinations that you're going to be taking, so but thank you very much everyone for the questions and comments. They've been really lovely. Should we just check the poll quickly?
Just vote on it, see if anyone's voted.
Anyone's voted? No. But so for those of you who do have exams coming up, we wish you good luck with those, and thank you for watching, and hopefully see you soon.